I have two of my, well, let's just start with my absolute favorite actually. My absolute favorite oil is organic black seed oil. Sometimes it's called black seed cumin oil. Basically, the reason why this one is my favorite, it's internal and external. It is super high in antioxidants, so it's not just a carrier oil. Basically, this is serving you in and of itself. And make sure you get a good one. This one's cold pressed. The active ingredient is touting its minimum. I'm not advertising any brand. I am saying that over and over and over again, you will see that I use the black seed oil because, again, internal, external, and its antioxidant value, crazy good. So this is kind of a must-have in my box. If we're talking, probably my second favorite oil is castor oil. Again, internal, external. I love this one because it's an excellent transporter of essential oils. I use a lot of essential oils, and so yeah, this one is cold pressed, organic, love that. Not touting a certain brand, just telling you castor oil, fantastic. Now, my third oil is jojoba oil. This one is, of course, unrefined, cold pressed. Make sure you just see where it's coming from. This one actually isn't organic, but it is a pure, natural, well-sourced jojoba oil. It's in this size because I use it for so many things. You'll see when I start showing you how to make your own udder oil, udder rubs, udder balms, I guess. A balm I find is different than a rub. Typically, if it's a rub, I'm rubbing it all over. A balm is for a specific purpose. But anyway, jojoba is when I'm not as interested in getting it transported in the body. Let's say we have an external wound. I'm probably going to use the black seed cumin oil and the jojoba. I don't really want everything transported inside super quickly. I want it staying where the wound is, helping to heal the external. We're trying to get the skin healed up, and then we're going to treat the internal separately. You guys are going to see why Joe's finding a new home here. He's been without his friend here for over a year, and it's starting to show that he doesn't have a goat friend to be obnoxious with. You are an excellent goat, Joe. You're excellent. You're gorgeous. He's got these gorgeous blue eyes, this adorable little beard. He's a beautiful goat. He's been such a good boy. It is what it is. So yeah, jojoba, we're talking about skin, topical. Don't put jojoba into me. Castor oil is whenever we want something transported in. We want things going into the skin. We have mastitis. So we want the rub that we're gonna rub all over the affected udder, transporting things internally, so we're externally trying to get things internally. That being said, I'm going to give you my top 3 essential oils. Hi, Joe. Okay, so obviously when it comes to any kind of infection, 100% oregano. Essential oil. There's dried oregano, there's fresh oregano, there's oil of oregano. Oil of oregano and oregano essential oil, not the same things. They are not the same. Oil of oregano is just taking the herb oregano and infusing it into an oil. Typically it's going to be sunflower oil or some kind of oil. If you wanted to use oil of oregano, I personally would make my own. I do my own infusion so that I could use a good oil like avocado oil, olive oil, some kind of oil that I would actually want to ingest. Sunflower oils are actually kind of inflammatory. Don't really recommend them. So why oregano essential oil? It's antimicrobial. Virus, bacteria, mold, mildew, yeast, you name it, oil of oregano is going to hit it. If you look up the stats on oil of oregano, or oregano oil, he's ripping my hair. If you look up the stats on oregano, ouch, 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 Joe, stop. This is what he does every day when I'm milking. I know, and why you need a new home. Oregano essential oil, there's literally no more powerful antimicrobial substance in the world. You can go buy an antibiotic, an antifungal, an anti-everything. It's not going to match up to oregano essential oil. Tons of studies on it. And not only that, there's no resistance. There's nothing on the planet that has a resistance to oregano essential oil. This is internal and external. Externally, it can be used for a longer period of time. Let's say you have a wound you're trying to heal up. You can put oil of oregano on that wound day after day after day until you see healing. Internally, 3-5 days. If it's super intense and you want to go up to 7 days, you can, but you're starting to affect the gut. So while it's not broad spectrum, it's still going to begin to affect the gut and the gut bacteria, and basically you don't want to use it over the long term. So you're a bum. Okay, oregano essential oil, 100%. If you plan on treating anything, you're going to want it. Same goes for humans. Okay, I am talking humans and animals. It just so happens that we're focusing on animals. Hi, Joe. He is a good boy. You're a good boy. All right, frankincense. If you only had 2 essential oils, it would be oregano and frankincense. Frankincense is an incredible healer. Again, internal and external, you can use frankincense. It's phenomenal in so many ways. There's a reason why Jesus was gifted frankincense. It is going to help with the healing process of so many things. It's worth it. It's expensive. It's worth it. If you only had 2, that would be it. If you only had 3, which I guess I didn't bring this one out, it would be lavender. I would bring lavender. Lavender is soothing, it's calming. You can take it internally, but it's kind of better to use externally in my opinion. But I mean, you can bake and put it in things, so you can, but you're really not going to ingest that much lavender essential oil. But if you can only have 3, it would be oregano, frankincense, and lavender. But anyway, for what we're talking about today, 100% frankincense, get it. You need it. Anytime you're trying to heal something, you want frankincense. Now, if you want to level up your frankincense and its incredible healing powers, you would get myrrh. Myrrh has, and I'm going to let you guys look it up. I didn't come here equipped with all of the descriptions of each essential oil. It's too easy to Google. But basically, when frankincense and myrrh are put together, they work synergistically. Myrrh is external. You have a wound that you are trying to heal. You put oregano, frankincense, and myrrh on it. You basically got the best case scenario for treating the problem. Add to that helichrysum, that's bonus points. I'll talk about that in other videos when we get more specific. Because that's just going to be speed up healing. It's super expensive. If you go to buy frankincense and myrrh and think they're pricey, wait till you see helichrysum. But frankincense and myrrh work so synergistically that I personally feel it's necessary to put the 2 of those together. So those are the oils. What is the other thing that I can't live without? As a homesteader, not a professional farmer, we're talking small scale, beginner level here. Get yourself an oral drench syringe. So this one here, I actually just cleaned it, so it got a little foggy out in the sunshine. But basically, what you can do is you're going to fill this up, and you're just going to be able to put this right into the animal's mouth. Typically, I don't fill this up. I make my concoction in a jar, and then, you know, you just suck it up out of the jar. This has a nice angle to it. Here, Joe, since you're standing here, you're literally going to take it, stick it in the animal's mouth, and squirt it down. You just got a mouthful of air. But you can see it's relatively easy to do this. You can literally put anything in here. You don't have a funnel, you're not trying to find the right tube, you're going to the side of the mouth where the esophagus is, and basically you can use this for anything. You got a calf that's down and out, you're putting electrolytes in it. You got a calf that's refusing to bottle feed, you don't want to open it up and tube it. Oral drench syringe. It's going to take you forever. You might do it 30 times. I remember when my calf was down and out, she wouldn't eat. I think I would have done this 30 times, 40 times to get a quart into her, but whatever. They're small, you can contain them, they're going to swallow it. They can't fight you that hard because it's actually not that bad. But we had a little bout of coccidia, one of the sheep down and out. You can smell by the fecal matter. I spent years working for a vet, so I actually have a pre-med, pre-bio degree. I had kids instead of going to medical school, but spent years working in the medical field, worked for a naturopathic doctor. All I'm saying is, if you want easy ways to treat your animals, this thing here, did a concoction of black seed cumin oil, oregano essential oil. I do 1 drop per 10 mLs. 5 of it's a really big deal. Say I'm treating my full-size cow and I don't want to do multiple times. I just concentrate the oregano oil into 30 mLs. She would get 5 drops into 30 mLs twice a day. But basically, this is going to make delivery of so many things so much easier. A couple days of the black seed cumin oil, oregano oil, and electrolytes. You can break open capsules. We have liposomal vitamin C capsules. You can put those in here. You can put magnesium in here. So you're not asking the animal to eat it. You're just dissolving it into a solution. Like I said, I usually use a little jar, usually like a jelly jar, mix it up. A pint jar if I feel like I need a long-term solution. I only want to mix it up once. You just suction it up, deliver it to the animal. So I consider this very, very necessary as someone who's small-scale homesteading, a little intimidated by the thought of doing the oral, you know, like the whole funnel feeding and that kind of stuff. And frankly, I have the time to do that 30 times. But yeah, I would consider that just as necessary. So if you're just starting to cultivate your kit of how to do things holistically, I would literally, this is not comprehensive. I want to emphasize that. This is basic. Black seed, if you only buy 1 black seed cumin oil, if you only buy 2 black seed cumin oil and castor oil, if you want to have the differentiation where you're working, just the benefits of a jojoba topically outweigh the benefits of castor oil, jojoba oil. Honestly, if you only ever have those 3 oils, fine, really. Until you're making like balms and different things, then you're going to start incorporating butters. If you like to level up and you want to be top of your game, you're going to do things like tamano oil and that kind of stuff. But those are all next level. Your very basics, get some black seed cumin oil, get some castor oil, throw some jojoba oil in there. Honestly, you're going to use it for your family also. And then stock up with the essential oils, oregano oil, frankincense essential oil. Personally, I think lavender essential oil is going to be pretty instrumental throughout time. I would throw that one in there, even though I didn't bring it out technically. Myrrh. You're going to want frankincense and myrrh because one of your animals are going to do something stupid and you're going to be trying to fix it, and you're going to want frankincense and myrrh healing that wound up. These are the kind of things. The vet isn't always coming. There are so many animals in people's backyards now, and only so many vets who can accommodate them. Also, there's a lot less money for them to show up in your backyard because there's some minor detail going on with your sheep that you can handle. You just don't know how, or you don't have the tools. So again, keep it simple with the oil drenched syringe. You can squirt something down your animal's mouth. You can corner it. You can contain it. You and someone else can do it. I mean, you're just super quick. It's okay if they're like and trying to get it down. They're going to be fine. A little overwhelmed maybe, but fine. And you're going to be able to deliver so many things in an incredibly easy fashion that are going to be life-saving. I guarantee you, my sheep, new to sheep this year, so it's a learning curve. If I had to take a fecal, I have no vet. I cannot get a vet. No vet around here is interested in picking up a new client. So I have to have a vet come from really, really far away. And basically we're looking at a minimum of $200 just for a vet to show up and then do a well visit to establish myself as a client. On repeat, that would be crazy amounts of money going out the door. I wouldn't be able to sustain doing what I'm doing with cows, sheep, goats, dogs, chickens, all of it. I would have to streamline and limit myself. I don't really want to be limited. I want to be able to do what I feel I need to do. Now, do I need to establish? Absolutely. Everyone should establish a relationship with a vet. So we call the local vets occasionally, waiting for them to have an opening. In the meantime, we do everything as holistically, regeneratively as possible in order to keep, we also try to make sure that you just cultivate a knowledge of how to care for the animal to limit the need for a vet as much as possible. That said, absolutely do your best to establish. Ben, stay off the road. Okay, sorry, there's a car coming. Dogs are over there. Anyway, that said, definitely do your best to get yourself a vet. You're probably going to have an emergency eventually, and you're going to want a vet. But for the most part, I want to help you avoid a vet as much as possible. So if you just start with those very, very basic things, I think you're going to see a huge difference. I was just making sure that car was going so slow. It wasn't a customer. You're going to see a huge difference in how you're able to treat your animals. But back to the sheep. Sheep kind of look like they're fine until they're not. He was having some diarrhea. However, we'd just gotten a second cutting hay. That kind of gave everybody loose stools because it pushed their protein up so fast that I really didn't think too much about the diarrhea initially, because we were seeing the looser stools due to the higher quality hay that we were then feeding. However, quickly you could see he was kind of depressed. His head was hanging. Of course, his FOMCHA scores. I was like, okay, there's absolutely a problem here. If I'd had to wait, even if I had a vet, I had to take the fecal, I had to get the fecal, make sure it was his fecal, take it into the vet, wait for them to give me a reading, wait for them to prescribe whatever they were going to tell me that I needed for coccidia or for the worm or for whatever, get it home and treat my sheep. I would have been in a much more dire situation than being able to assess what was happening. We did do a worming treatment. I'll talk about my deworming. I personally used Paragard because it's a broad-based herbal. We also have ivermectin. So he got a quick shot of ivermectin, and then after that got Paragard. So we were treating for a broad-based worm spectrum. But then, most importantly, because once you could smell the fecal, it was very obvious it was coccidia. All I had to do was add oregano essential oil. Oregano essential oil, black seed cumin oil. We're pumping him up with antibiotics. We gave him the oregano essential oil. We had electrolytes for him because he had diarrhea. We had the vitamins, the liposomal C, the different things he needed to be able to holistically support his body within 2 days. Not even a full 48 hours, just kind of 2 days cumulatively. Completely different sheep, perfectly fine. Was able to support him holistically through his body naturally building itself back up, getting the better bright red membranes so that you could see that he was on his way back to health. So having a full knowledge of both what to look for and how to assess is super important. Also knowing how to immediately treat in a broad spectrum way, because I mean, have you seen the cost of Cydectin and all these other wormers? You're going to put $150 into a wormer for a sheep. I personally don't want to consistently deworm my sheep. It makes their manure inhabitable. There's a whole list of things. But anyway, this is where I would start.